Welcome back and welcome to Mo's Life in a Bag. If you are new here, thank you so much for clicking on this video and visiting my channel. If you are already a part of the crew, thank you so much for returning. In today's video, you guys, we are going to be talking about what is in this FedEx package here. Don't forget to press the subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you can be notified whenever I post a brand new video, and we are about to get into it. As you guys can tell down below in the title and by the thumbnail, we are going to be getting into what's inside this FedEx package. Today's video is not going to be a long one. I'm not going to keep you guys here long at all. So as you guys know, earlier in the year of 2020, just saying that, it's like doomsday or something. Earlier in the year of 2020, I was furloughed from American Airlines. They let go of over 8,000 flight attendants, and they let go of over about 19,000 team members altogether that were employed with the company. The furlough went into effect October the 1st of 2020. Up until that point, I was on a paid leave of absence from American Airlines. So when the pandemic first started around like March, I was still getting paid from the company. I was still considered active status, active employee. I just wasn't flying due to the virus and everything. I just, preferred to stay at home. So effective October the 1st, they officially furloughed us. I was no longer an active employee. I no longer had my insurance. We were still able to keep our flight benefits, but we didn't have our insurance. We weren't getting paid. We were considered to be inactive employees. That's basically what a furlough is. I don't know exactly if it's different from when you're laid off or if it's all the same thing, but we were officially furloughed. From October, November, December, we were on furlough. Effective December the 22nd, American Airlines recalled all of their furloughed team members. On December the 22nd, we were all recalled. On Christmas Eve, they ended up giving us a paycheck, which was very exciting. And yeah, so that's pretty much what happened. So basically I haven't worked or worked an actual flight and been on an airplane since before March of 2020, which is crazy because I was still employed, but like I said, I just chose not to fly. So in today's video, I'm just basically going to be explaining to you guys what being recalled means and what is in the near future for me as a flight attendant. So they sent us our official recall letters in the mail through FedEx, which is what is in this package. Here's my recall letter here. So yay, I am super excited about this, you guys. I'm not gonna read the letter to y'all because it's obviously like a lot of information. It's front and back, and it's basically just telling us what the next steps are. So I'm pretty much going to explain that for you guys. We were emailed our recall letter and they actually sent it to us in the mail. So, we can actually like have the letter in our hands, which honestly, I might get this laminated and frame it or something, because being furloughed was probably like the most scariest time of my life, just thinking that you don't have a job anymore and like wondering what you're gonna do. So when they recalled us, it was really an exciting moment for me. And yeah, the next steps will include me having to get re-fingerprinted, me having to go to my home base and retrieve some of the company equipment that I had to turn in. They had us turn in our crew badge. Y'all, this was literally like so sad. Like, I had to fly to Dallas. I had to turn in my crew badge. I had to turn in my tablet. Like, it was really sad. So we go back to our home base, we pick up our crew equipment, and while we're picking up our crew equipment, we have to get re-fingerprinted. After we do that, we have to basically wait for all 8,000 of us to go through this process. While we're waiting for everyone to go through this process, American Airlines sent us an official email that included a link. And once you click the link, it gave us the options to either accept the recall or resign from the company altogether. So just because they recalled all of us doesn't mean that you necessarily have to go back to work. There are several flight attendants who were furloughed who got other jobs. I myself picked up another job, but it was just a part-time job. Some flight attendants picked up full-time jobs that they're just, either out of whatever their company's policies are, they can't just up and quit, or maybe they really like their full-time job and what they're doing now. A lot of people are saying that the airline industry is just filled with way too much uncertainty. They'd rather hang on to their full-time job that they know for a fact they're locked into and that they won't lose. Although to me, in my opinion, anything could happen. But I did pick up a part-time job. But when I clicked that link and the page popped up for me to accept recall or resign, I immediately accepted the recall because I am so ready to go back to work. It was no question at all whether I was accepting or resigning from the company. So that was super exciting. If you accepted the recall, the next step in the process of going back to work was being able to bid for bases again. Now, if y'all know, in my training videos that I have on my channel when I went through flight attendant training, bidding for our bases was so stressful. This is, you're coming from not having all of this craziness in your life to having to make this decision of where you're going to be working out of, and they give us this list of cities that we have to choose from. Not only that, but even when you create the list of what you want from the most to what you want to the least, you still may not get exactly what you want. So it's just crazy. It's just crazy. So in training, when I had to bid for my bases, we were awarded our bases. And if you go back to, I think it was week 4 video, I'm gonna insert a clip because I can't remember exactly which video it is or which week it was in that we did our bases, but my class 1810 all got misawarded bases, right? So when I did my list, if I'm remembering correctly, I listed Dallas first, Miami second, DC third, Chicago fourth, and then on down. After your fourth choice, I don't exactly remember, but after that, obviously, I didn't want any of those bases. I think I did New York, LA, Boston, or something like that. But anywho, when we went to our base reveal in training and they revealed to us what our bases were, I got Chicago, which was my 4th choice. So I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I wasn't even able to get my 1st, my 2nd, or my 3rd choice. But the thing was, they had misawarded us. So obviously, you guys know, if you've been following along my flight attendant journey, the award that I actually received was Miami, and that was my 1st base. And I lived in Miami for about 6 to 7 months, and that's where I was based right out of training. Well, now when we had to bid for our bases, y'all, they misawarded us again. Literally, it's crazy. So I get my email, and I'll insert a picture of it. I get my email to see what my base is. I'm at work at my part-time job. I'm literally checking my phone every 5 seconds because they had already told us that our bases were going to be coming out by 5:00 p.m. that evening. And then, y'all, on top of that, we had to wait literally till 4:59, all day. I thought maybe they would send it out, maybe a couple hours before 5. I just knew 5:00 was the deadline. We would have them before 5. So I'm at work, I'm constantly checking my phone, I'm going to the bathroom, not doing what I'm supposed to be doing at work. They finally send the email. I get the email, y'all, and I'm literally about to put the picture in here right now of what base they awarded me. Y'all look. Boston, really? So when I was in training, Boston was last. When I bidded for my bases this time, Boston was last. So I was like, oh my gosh, I'm texting my flight attendant friend and I'm like, girl, like what happened? Like I got Boston, like I cannot believe this and that. So come to find out they had made a mistake and they misawarded us again. So a lot of people got a base that they actually didn't, have in at least their top 3 or top 4 list of choices. So they sent out an official list. They had our correct results. So my base for when I return back to work is going to be DFW, which is what I put as my first choice. So I will be based in Dallas, Fort Worth again, and I am super excited. I feel like, once I transferred from Miami to Dallas, I didn't really get a lot of time in Dallas to really just like fall in love with the base and fly to a lot of different places because the whole pandemic took over and I stopped flying. So I definitely wanted to put Dallas as my number 1 choice because there were some other places that I kind of wanted to go. Like I was considering Philly, I was considering Charlotte, I considered Chicago, but there are a lot of different factors that go into choosing a base, especially when you're a commuter like me. You want something that's, somewhat convenient for you to get to work because y'all know as a commuter I have to fly to work, and you also want a base that you're gonna enjoy the trips, you're gonna get good trips. I kind of wanted to go back to Miami, but y'all already know when I was living in Miami and leaving out of Miami for my trips, it was cool. But when I moved back to Memphis and I became a commuter, officially a commuter, flying to work in Miami was like so stressful, and it just was like my quality of life was not okay. Like double commuting, like flying to Dallas and then flying to Miami, spending the night in the airport, waking up the next morning to do my trip, getting back to Miami for my trip, flying back to Dallas, then flying back to Memphis just to get home, and having just 2 days off and having to go back to do it again. It was just a lot. So I knew Miami was out of the question for me this time. So that's why I chose Dallas. I know a lot of people say, well, why didn't you pick somewhere different? Like, this and that. But Dallas was definitely the best choice for me, and I'm so happy that I got it. Let's see. Yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at right now. The recall process, they've been telling us, is gonna take some time. Like I said, they are recalling over 8,000 of us. So it's not gonna be like, okay, boom, back to work. Everybody bid for your schedule for for next month. Y'all are good. Like, no, it's a process. They are starting with the top 3,000 flight attendants. Those are who they are prioritizing, and that is in seniority order. So, it's gonna take some time, but the company has been keeping us informed. They have been hosting these virtual town hall meetings that we have been I have been personally tuning into the virtual town hall meetings just so I can stay informed of what's going on, and I don't miss out on any information that's important. And as of right now, they are hoping to have all team members back to work by April. Y'all, April is January. It's mid-January right now. We're about to be in February, and then March, and then April. If 2020 taught me nothing, it was that time goes by so fast. Like I never would have thought that they would have called us back this soon, and being on furlough lasted all of nothing. Basically, it was no time that I was on furlough before they called us back. So time goes by so quickly, and to think that I will be back flying and in the air by April is such a good feeling to have, and I am so excited and so thankful. I have been thanking God every day that He has blessed me with my job back. Flying is literally my entire life, and you know, sometimes when I think back on it, I feel like I definitely took some parts of my job for granted, for sure, and I hate that I had to lose my job in order to appreciate my job so much more. I'm super duper duper excited. I have a glass of red wine here. I want you guys to get a glass of something and just celebrate with me getting my job back and accepting my recall to return back to American Airlines as a flight attendant. One more thing that I have to add into what's been going on since we've been in this process is that American Airlines is paying us again. Our insurance was reinstated, all benefits reinstated, our pay is, we're back on our scheduled pay twice a month pay that we were on at 70 hours a month for both paychecks. So y'all, and it's not even just about the money. Like, I saved that tidbit for last. Like, honestly, I almost forgot to mention that part, but y'all, that is a major blessing. So I just want to say cheers to me, cheers to anyone. If you lost your job or were furloughed or laid off or anything like that during 2020 and during this pandemic, hopefully things are turning around for you. Don't give up, don't lose hope. There is a light at the end of the tunnel waiting for you to just walk straight into it. And for those of you who are like me, where the light just smacked you right in the face and you weren't even expecting it to, shout out to you, congrats to y'all. So cheers to us. I'm not gonna tell y'all what time it is, but it's happy hour somewhere. That's my motto. So I'm not even supposed to be drinking right now. I'm one of those people that participates in Dryuary, but I mean, this calls for celebration, right? Like, I deserve, and it's red wine. Like, I feel like there's not any calories in red wine, right? Red wine is good for the heart. When I heard the knock on the door, I go to open the door and the FedEx employee hands me this package. I'm literally like, okay, what is this? You know, I open it up and it is my official recall letter. Couldn't be happier. Definitely wanted to come on here and share the great news with you guys. I haven't released a video for you guys in probably like over a week now, or maybe just a little over a week. Mo's Life in a Bag. This is what my channel was created for me to share my flight attendant experiences with you guys. And so now that I'm going back to work, I have the opportunity to get flight attendant content out for y'all, and I'm so excited for that. Happy New Year to all of you. I hope everyone is having a great kickstart to 2021, and I hope that you guys have a great rest of the year. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today's video. I think I'm gonna wrap it up on that note. Don't forget to like this video, share this video, comment down below any thoughts that you have, comment down below any questions that you may have about flight attendant. I recently, just want to tell you guys this before I sign out, I recently went on a friend of mine's from high school. He has a podcast. I went on there. He invited me on his podcast to talk about flight attendant life, which was great because being recalled, I was in the spirit and in the mood to really talk about it. And I really dive deep into that. So I'm gonna put a link to his podcast in my description down below so you guys can go check that out. My official Instagram page is at Mo's Life in a Bag. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.